Gypsy-Rose is the poor victim, and yet she wants to put out things like this. Why is this okay? Why is this acceptable? But the second Ryan opens his mouth, she becomes the victim. He needs to stop talking, but yet she's gonna sit there and still be the victim of everything. She doesn't care how this affects somebody else. Her actions are only her own. She couldn't care any less how her actions affect other people.
How the hell is this girl? How in the hell are you gonna do this man like that? You already drug him every chance you can, cheated on him, made him look like a complete fool. He's been nothing but respectful to you, and now you're gonna go and tell the whole freaking world that the D won't fire?
Gypsy-Rose has continued to expose herself for being a despicable and indiscreet human being. She came out in the People magazine interview to publicly shame Ryan, her officially ex-husband, for making her to have a miserable bedroom experience. Yes, she talked about her bedroom life with Ryan to the media so that it could get out there for the public to read. Mark you, earlier this year, she had a similar interview where she praised Ryan in the same scene for being fire.
You know,
I mean,
we're married.
What's hard for me is watching, the negative comments towards him. I can handle negative comments towards me because I don't care. But when it's about somebody that I love, I want to clap back. And that was my, clap back a little bit. I'm going to come to his defense. He's my man. That's what wives do.
Now that they are divorced, she is out to embarrass him and degrade him and lower his self-confidence in public. This is a move of a sadist and heartless person. Even if that was the case and she didn't enjoy her time with Ryan, they had since separated and are now divorced. So was this necessarily called for? For a person who claimed to have had higher healing, is this a kind of thing that a person of integrity would do? This is a kind of thing a future mother would do? I believe if they are now divorced, that shouldn't have concerned her anymore, but no. She felt the need to ensure Ryan goes down after showing her that he's moving on. She did this to intentionally weigh him down. I feel she did this for revenge on Ryan because she was forced to leave him and yet still has feelings for him. Let us get into this submission. However, I also pass the blame to the publication that felt the right to voice out these beshaming facts about a person. Anyway, let us get into the details that Gypsy put out there about previous love life. Gypsy, who was holding back at nothing, had a tell-it-all interview with the People magazine narrating her life with Ryan and what really happened that made her want to end with Ryan. Gypsy explains that after she was released from prison, her sex life with Ryan wasn't an ideal and that they had even talked about it privately, saying, "Ryan and my sex life was not ideal. I told him privately, maybe it was a lack of attraction in that area or if I still wasn't processing properly."
What's the matter, Gypsy? The D ain't fire anymore? And here we go. Just like always, Gypsy-Rose is the poor victim. And yet, she wants to put out things like this. Why is this okay? Why is this acceptable? But the second Ryan opens his mouth, she becomes the victim. He needs to stop talking. But yet, she's gonna sit there and still be the victim of everything. She doesn't care how this affects somebody else. Her actions are only her own. She couldn't care any less how her actions affect other people. And this article right here proves that point. Why is this okay to say to that man who did nothing but care about her? Who did nothing but try to be there for her, and she thought this was okay, and then she wants to again run around and be the poor little victim. Do better, Gypsy-Rose. Still collecting victims to this day. Just saying, there's that.
Here, the processing properly, she meant that she thought it was probably because of her previous sexual encounters with, saying, Nico de Jean, who she says, SAED, her, and the prison instances where she was experimenting with her prison mates but didn't get to fully enjoy the experiences.
Why would you be so vindictive? Tell me how this girl is not still collecting victims to this day. Why would you put that after everything Gypsy Rose did to Ryan? Why? Why would she put him through that and do that and try and humiliate him when he has been nothing but so good to her? Because he could have gotten on social media and trashed her, and he never did. Why would she think it was okay to do that? She is an animal, a disgusting animal in my opinion. You're trying to be more private, but I'm going to go into the tabloids and talk about my sex life. Just like you bragged about your freaking affair, your adulterous affair. This girl is a hot mess and would do anything for publicity, anything for people to look at her. Let me tell you something. If she gets off the internet and stops posting on social media, I wouldn't be surprised to see the girl twirling naked on a freaking pole. I'm just saying, anything to shout, look at me. Look at me. She's disgusting. Absolutely can't stand that she did this to Ryan. And you know what? Ryan, I really hope he gets the balls to clap back at her, because now she freaking deserves it. I'm just saying, there's that guy.
She says she thought that this was the issue. She mentioned to the magazine that, however, that wasn't the case when Ken came into her life again. She vividly explains her experience with Ken, saying, "When Ken came into the picture again, you've got to understand there was 7 years of built-up tension there. And it was amazing. I was able to feel comfortable with him." This was her narration of her first encounter with Ken. She even explained that even though her past-related traumas still knock in, she has been able to get over it, saying in the magazine, "I've gotten past that. There are times that it kind of like, if I'm uncomfortable, I will voice that. But I am very open and vocal with Ken about my needs. That's how we conceived our baby girl." It was not enough hell for Ken from Gypsy. She even went ahead to narrate how magical her first 2 trimesters were, saying, "I had a great first 2 trimesters. Amazing. No morning sickness. It was so peaceful," she says. "But now that I am in my 3rd trimester and the 8th month, I can't sleep, I can't breathe, I can't do anything." The article continues to read. Still, she's at peace. With her parole ending next year, I am really excited to just obviously bring her into the world and have a lot of family time together. I'm transitioning to a more private life, but it's going to be a slow transition.
Being selfish and chasing your heart should never come at the cost and expense of other people. There's a proper way to handle things and do things, and how she did them is exactly how her mother and her father, Dee Dee and Rod, brought her into the world. No different. In fact, her situation is worse, because now she's a convicted murderer who's on parole, who attempted to take a life twice before, bringing a child into the world. The only reason why she's even having this baby with Ken is because he denied her and left her and was with somebody else for over 5 years. She psychologically is obsessed with him and is going to trap him, and it's going to come back to bite her in the ass. But worst of all, it's going to have a negative, lifelong effect on that baby. God willing, not the kind of effect she claims and lies to everybody about that her mother had on her.
First, let's talk about how bold Gypsy was to have such a conversation about her very much private matter. It was all not called for unless she had other ulterior motives by doing so. Ryan is no longer her husband, but she still found the need to blame him for her adulterous act. Gypsy has lost the little respect she was still getting from the public, because no one in their right mind would work so hard to disgrace a person, even if they were your ex-partner. And earlier on, she had said her main point of leaving Ryan was because he was super controlling, and the food hoarding habit Ryan had, where the fridge would be stuck up with food and then had to throw it away when it went bad, and that when Ryan found the fridge empty, it sparked a fight between them, where Ryan raised his voice at Gypsy and then she got scared, feeling as if she was going to be hit by him, brought back her past bad memories.
Ryan and I were busy filming for these 4 months, and it put a lot of stress, but the attention that social media and the public eye put on our marriage was a stress in itself. So to say that it didn't play any part would be a lie. Of course, any stress, added stress is difficult. It was not the straw that broke the camel's back, but it was added stress. I think that there is a sense of freedom of following your heart, following what you feel like is right for you. And in my marriage, I felt like a part of me was lost in it. And so I feel like I found that missing piece of myself that I always felt was, lost. And now reclaiming that back, I definitely feel a sense of belonging in that space. I did love Ryan. Ryan and I spent 3 years of a relationship together. It was just a different love than I have for Ken.
How the hell is this girl? How in the hell are you gonna do this man like that? You already drug him every chance you can, cheated on him, made him look like a complete fool. He's been nothing but respectful to you, and now you're gonna go and tell the whole freaking world that the D won't fire? I mean, we kind of figured it wasn't fire, okay? I mean, we kind of figured that. But did you really got to tell everybody that? Like, haven't you hurt this man enough? You have to go say to the whole world, the D was not any fire. Maybe you're the fucking problem, Gypsy. I mean, you ruin everything you touch. You just wrong for this. Foul bitch.
Now she is saying she left because she didn't get enough pleasure from Ryan. Something is not adding up here. Gypsy is just continuing to bully Ryan because he has managed to keep his cool and ignore Gypsy for a while with all the hurricanes she has been bringing down on him. Let us not forget her January remarks about Ryan always rocking her world at night and showing how she was getting pleasure from him. Was that a lie? Or is she now changing the narrative just because she is no longer with him anymore? She had taken to Ryan's Instagram comments to shout out the people that were commenting negatively about him for his appearance, writing, "Don't listen to the haters. Besides, they're jealous because you were rocking my world every night," she added. "Yeah, I said it. The D is fire."
Well, can't bring me down. I'm on a high right now. I'm living my best life, and y'all can't take that from me.
And the D is
Fire!
At that time, no one had asked her to express her private life experience, but she chose to. And then right now, the praise has all changed from fire to not ideal and rocking my world at night to lack of attraction in the area. Gypsy is definitely onto something, and she is trying to bait Ryan again and trying to still sabotage his life even after leaving him and exposing his secret messages. She has really done every horrible thing to Ryan, and this was really way too much. Gypsy is just pissed by the fact that Ryan no longer gives a damn about her, that he even chose to skip court, which Gypsy thought Ryan would look out for to see her. She was disappointed by the revelation straight up in her face and so trying to make a comeback to hurt him. But let's ask ourselves, if Gypsy really moved on from Ryan, why the need to keep firing shots at him? Why keep baiting him? Why try to shame him? These are signs of someone that is hurting or going through a hard time, moving on from a heartbreak. Didn't she choose to leave Ryan? Is she trying to send a message that she didn't deliberately want to leave him? Is that or what she is trying to convey to us? Let us consider how grumpy she was at court. For a person that was indeed ready and looking forward to divorce your ex-husband, you would expect Gypsy to be very joyful and relieved after stepping out of the divorce court session. Gypsy filed for divorce from Ryan and said she couldn't wait to put her past marriage life behind her. So why was she instead sad and unpleased when she got out of court? Was it because she didn't want to finally lose the one thing that has been using to hold Ryan captive? Also, it was as if she was ready to see Ryan again with her brunette hair that she knows Ryan likes a lot on her, but was unfortunately disappointed by the fact that he didn't attend court.
TMZ is reporting that they reached a settlement. Ryan's lawyer, Jeffrey Carrier, tells TMZ his client skipped the court appearance to save on those pricey attorney fees.
So after she realized Ryan wasn't there, she decided to project her anger to the reporters that were taking pictures of her by cursing them out and hiding away from them because she had to walk down the hall of shame. Ryan wasn't interested in appearing at court with her. Gypsy was solid pissed by the way Ryan played it all out as a statement of his representatives. They said he decided to settle the divorce matters out of court, which basically showed how he didn't want to have anything to do with Gypsy, and this must have made her feel less relevant in Ryan's life as she was getting comfortable knowing that Ryan would always be to her disposal. Reality hiring her in the face forced her to make that interview with people to shame Ryan publicly. What proves this more is what she told People magazine after the court appearance, saying she wanted to have a civil conversation with Ryan for closure, but he wasn't at court and was still waiting for an update on when that will be. Her statement read, "I did extend the offer to have a civil conversation for closure purposes. I am currently waiting on a response." He waived his right to attend. So looks like in this case, it's Gypsy that still needs closure and not Ryan. Meanwhile, Ryan has now gotten far on his journey of healing, and he also got himself a social media partner, Amber J, who seems like the two could really kick it off if jokes are put aside. Because first, Amber J has been there for Ryan. She has insight of whatever Ryan has gone through, so it wouldn't be hard to click up on the go. Amber has been following up Ryan and she finds him cool. The same way Ryan is always cracked up by Amber J and can't even end a life without sending shoutouts to her. The two could really be a great couple, as they seem a great force together and are both free-spirited people. The internet is also shipping the two together, so we never know what we shall once see the two rock it together. We can only wait and see how this plays out, but Ryan has kept his options open now.
Gypsy was caught sneaking out of Ryan's place this morning. That's why she pulled up to the meeting of the divorce in those fat pants. They're Ryan's.
That is why Gypsy is pretty much kicked off. Just doesn't want Ryan moving on. Remember, Ryan appeared in a lady's video dancing and having fun, where he even appeared to smack the lady's butt. Gypsy immediately held a live session claiming how Ryan was disrespecting her and her child, claiming how they were still married. Jealous girlfriend vibe. So we have assumption that Gypsy hasn't moved on and Ken has gone back to MIA. He only appears on family functions when it is convenient, like the baby shower, the Thanksgiving celebrations in Florida. But when the situation calls for him to come out and support Gypsy, he always goes completely silent. Why is that? Well, like we have already established, Ken has never been happy in this relationship arrangement, and it's as if he's just forced to appear with Gypsy. Now, at this time, the Gypsy is making rounds on media platforms, trying to promote her book and brag about her support system. Shouldn't Ken be there with her to show how he is, no matter what she is going through? Ken hasn't come out to show her support, be it physically or even through social media. What shows that Ken is really no longer in the picture was when Gypsy was asked in an interview on the WWL TV about how she was going to raise her child. She mentioned she had a support, which included her stepmother, Christy Blanchard. Now, Gypsy just laid out all the cards for us. She told us clearly that Ken is not part of her support system. Like, she isn't the first go-to person for her, rather, it's her stepmother. Even in the recent pictures Ken has appeared in with Gypsy, Ken has been either not smiling or just wearing a fake smile, as though he was put on a gunpoint to appear in a picture together with Gypsy. Ken has led a miserable, controlling life with Gypsy, and wherever he gets a chance, he slips away and focuses on himself rather than Gypsy's scandal. We have seen this with Ken ever since the two started seeing each other, and Ken hasn't made the speculations any less, as he continues to prove the whole world right that indeed he and Gypsy are not a thing anymore. Nina, her beauty influencer, even affirmed to us that we shall see their breakup on the news station of Gypsy's show live after lockup on Lifetime TV. So we can only wait until and justify the signs that have been laid out for us. With all this gypsy-rose overreacting after she has finally gotten her long yarn for divorce from Ryan, it just shows us signs that Gypsy didn't yet want to cut all ties with Ryan. Otherwise, why would she come out to shame him or even act unsatisfied after the court session of their divorce? I feel it shows Gypsy was forced into divorcing Ryan, and now it's too late to go back, and hence is trying to shake Ryan's tables to shame him in front of the public so as to get a reaction from him. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section. Like, subscribe, and keep updated on more celebrity buzz.